Over the next few minutes, we're going to go ahead and talk about the security escort system components. We're going to generally cover all of the components listed below. EA500B, the receiver. The receiver has two different enclosures, an indoor enclosure located on the left and the outdoor enclosure located on the right. When mounted in a multi-story building, these receivers get mounted 5 to 6 feet above the ground. Inside the enclosure is the receiver board. On this board features a rotary address switch utilizing 0 through 7, a blue sounder, which is optional and can be programmed through Security Escort, a green and red LED. The green LED illuminates when you do a proper test with a transmitter, and the red LED illuminates when you have an alarm. Located in the middle of the board is a tamper switch. This gets it reported immediately to the Security Escort software when the enclosure is opened. The EA500B. This board is the output board for Security Escort. This board has an AC input, gets put on the transponder using a receiver address, and has two wet relay outputs. When this is triggered into a output condition, it can sync 500 milliamps per output to ground, driving, horns, or strobes. Alternately, you could use the wet relay output to drive a dry relay to trigger a third-party hardware or software system. The SE500B, the transponder. To go into a little bit more detail on where everything is on the transponder, in the upper left-hand corner here is the communication to the computer. This terminal block here is for SE485. This terminal block here is for standard RS-232. You cannot use both of them simultaneously. You can only choose one or the other utilizing this switch here. When switched to the right, it is SE485, and when switched to the left, it's RS-232. This section down here is the buses that go to the receiver. The transponder has 8 buses. Each bus supports 8 receivers at 3,000 feet of wire maximum. There are 4 terminals per bus. 2 data, 2 power. Over here is the on-off switch. Down here is where the transformer gets plugged into. And over here is the dip switches that addresses the board. We support from address 1 to 255. In the upper right hand corner there are some LEDs used for diagnostics. And then you have some wet relay outputs to go to horns and strobes. The EA500B, the transponder. The transponder is like the motherboard for Security Escort. It supports up to 64 receivers. Has an AC power input and battery backup. It features 2 types of communications to a computer, either SE485, which is a proprietary protocol, or serial. The image shown here is the default stock map that comes with Security Escort. Like mentioned in previous slides, the image of the map is the whole coverage area, so all 4 buildings. In the next map, map 1, you'll notice that the other 3 buildings are gone because there's no second floor. And then the main building, which does have a second floor, has the same size map, and the second floor is located directly above the first floor. These maps were generated from AutoCAD, colored in AutoCAD, and exported as a bitmap, and then the extension was changed to .edb so it would work inside Security Escort. It does not mean that you have to have a map image that looks this plain. You can 3D render your map file or Photoshop your map file to make it look as three-dimensional as you want. Example on this slide here. You can use a 3D rendering of a building and still place your receivers in any location that they would be installed in, and it would track you still the same. The Security Escort software, otherwise known as the Central Console software, comes in several different part numbers listed below. It is licensed by the number of transmitters that are going to be used in the system and not by the other core hardware used to operate the system. The SE2 Personal Alarm Transmitter. This transmitter has 3 different alarm functions. It has the big red button for an alarm, the lanyard pull. This would get tied around your belt, and if somebody were to remove the alarm from your person, that would go into an alarm as well. And this also has a tilt sensor, so if it tips at 60 degrees. This is all programmable inside the Bosch Security Escort software. When in an alarm condition, this transmitter transmits at every 7 seconds. Optionally, this has the ability to have a 90-second supervision if desired. This transmitter can also be programmed as a guard tour transmitter. The SE3 2-button transmitter. This transmitter features 2 buttons on either side of the transmitter. They need to be pressed together for 1 second to create an alarm. This transmitter, when in an alarm, transmits a new location every 7 seconds. This transmitter also fits easily on a keychain and has 2 batteries for extra long life. This is our most common transmitter used with students, staff, and anybody that needs to protect their privacy. The SE88 transmitter features 1 large button for an alarm condition and 1 smaller button to do a reset. This transmitter is made to be worn around the neck or around the wrist. When in an alarm condition, this transmitter transmits every 7 seconds to update its alarm location. This transmitter also features an optional 30-second supervision time option. The purpose for this faster supervision time is to enable Security Escort to monitor the transmitter when not in an alarm condition, and if the transmitter leaves a designated area, the Security Escort system will go into an alarm condition. This would be a wandering alarm. This transmitter also is water resistant but not waterproof. The SE88A asset tracking transmitter is 1.5 inches wide, 2 inches long, and just a 1/4 inch thick. This transmitter is used to track assets every 90 seconds. This transmitter is mounted onto the item that is being tracked by either double-sided tape, epoxy, or Velcro, depending on what the item is. SE485, the communication interface. The SE485 is not RS485 and is a proprietary protocol. The SE485 doesn't have any ground references and does not use an end-line resistor on its bus. It can support up to 16 transponders over a variant length of wires, review chart below. Essentially, the SE485 converts standard RS-232 to the SE485 proprietary protocol. The SE3402 point transmitter with optional tracking. This transmitter features a magnetic reed switch that can be used for a door or window contact. Optionally, it has 2 terminals for any dry input. This means that you can use it with, but not limited to, panic buttons, motion detectors, building alarms, including boilers or HVAC units, or any other third-party hardware or software that gives you a dry output. Optionally, this has a 90-second supervision window so that you can use it with asset tracking.